What's up, Highland?
What's up?
What's up, Highland?
Something's different here.
It is different. Got our sweet red shirts on, and we get to announce our new name.
Thank you, Highland, for your feedback.
Yeah, we didn't go with any of the top votes, but we did go with the write-in.
Somebody did, and it kind of just stood out. Yeah, sorry, it's my first day back since all the holidays and everything.
Words are hard.
Yeah, they're tough.
So
I got to get back into the hang of talking here. So
anyways,
yes.
The new name is What's Up, Highland.
What's up, Highland?
What's up?
Yeah, we just kind of, as soon as we seen it, we liked it, and
We did. It was an aha moment, kind of like the rays from heaven.
so
I spoiled that just right there way too early, didn't I?
it's okay. Can't spoil anything.
No.
But anyway, so whoever came up with What's Up, Highland, I don't remember who it was.
I think it was
For some reason, I want to say Rebecca.
Oh my God! See, we're on the spot here.
Rebecca.
He's in the JCs.
I'm just going with the gut
I'm
instinct.
sorry, Rebecca.
Klug?
Rebecca Klug. Thank you.
Is that right? I think it is.
I think it is.
Hopefully I got it right, but thank you.
We should have talked about this before. Rebecca, I apologize.
Yeah, well, thank you.
And thank
got a
you.
name.
I apologize
And
and thank you.
Logo.
Yep.
Boom. Check it out.
So we, in addition to the name, the gear, we're also going to be rolling out our YouTube page. We're going to have a Facebook page created. We want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to join these pages so they can be up to speed on what's coming up in Highland. There's a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you're tuned in. The Highland community page was banging the last couple weeks.
Yeah, and we're going to stay out of the rumors. We're facts only.
Yep. So we will
Straight from the horse's mouth.
That's right. So anyway, our guest today on What's Up Highland, our very first guest for our new name is going to be Jeff Weinacht, sitting right here with us. He's also our host. So we're looking forward to getting his story and hearing from him. As always, though, let's get our wealth and health and housing.
Real estate.
I expected maybe Ryan. Can you find a better ring to? We had wealth and health, and you gotta help out here.
Let me
And
TBD.
health, wealth, and real estate.
Okay.
we go.
Well, all right. So
We'll work on it.
I'll go first. New year, new birth. Everything. My wealth tip is set a goal, whether it's a financial goal, as far as growth or cutting out some kind of debt. Set a goal for the year and actually have it where you can monitor it. Don't just be vague. Set a specific goal that you want to obtain and follow it, measure it, and accomplish that by the end of the year. It doesn't have to be at the end of the year. Maybe it's 6 months, but my encouragement, set it when you write it down. Jeff's a big write it down guy. Put it on paper. It sticks. It works. Set a goal. That's my wealth tip.
Go ahead, Ryan.
The real estate tip. We as real estate agents do a very bad job at making selling houses look super easy. It's sold in X amount of days or sold in 24 hours, this and that. The reality is it's not that easy. There's a lot of process that we do very bad about letting people know that happens beforehand. So you guys probably see I just had a listing that on a light rehab that I did that we went under contract in like 48 hours. But the amount of work that went in before that to truly get 3 offers in and get over asking, all that stuff, there's work that goes into it. So if you're thinking about selling your house, make sure that you're game planning. So and just putting in the work to really get that. You can't just stick a sign in the yard and get quick, easy money. You can, but you probably can't. You're probably missing out on something.
I'll piggyback real quick. We sold our house toward the end of the year last year. We did do it on our own. It was a lot of work. I told Ryan when we were done, for the amount of work and what we ended up with, it would have been there was a lot of value in if I would have just went with a realtor. So, a guy that's a do-it-yourselfer in a lot of different things. It was kind of an eye-opener. So, just kind of piggyback on that. Realtor is a good way to, get that exposure and get top dollar for your house. We did fine, but it was for any do-it-yourselfers, it's a lot of work.
Good thing we're recording this. We got Joe to say that live.
Hey, buddy, we struggled for a long time, but I can eat crow. I don't mind.
Hey, that's okay. That's good. It's good to hear you say that. It is growth. So that's awesome.
All right.
I'm going to piggyback off yours, Joe, with the goal setting. I'm just going to add another layer to it, not just writing it down, but writing down in full paragraphs, sentence to sentence. What we've found is people that just write bullet point goals, there's no vision that goes with that goal, and people have a hard time, really putting themselves in that place or wherever it's at. So we try to coach people to write your goals, but put them in a full sentences, full paragraphs, so that way when you read it, it's like you're reading and telling the story of your future self.
You know how you're going to get there.
And you can actually picture yourself in the moment of saving this money and what it does for you and why it's important, or, changing your health and fitness goals. You want to lose 20 pounds or whatever that is, but you need to write about it and what is actually going to change in your life. Because if it's not going to change anything, then that's why you're going to drop the goal, because it has no value to you other than just arbitrary, like I just want to lose 20 pounds.
Yeah.
But, if 20 pounds does something for you and it puts you in a place where you're doing something new or doing something better, then it becomes a lot easier to focus on and obtain. So
I love it. It's been you've actually coached me on that very thing, and it's effective. I bet some of you could probably go back and find a note that you wrote 10 years ago and see that it's actually happened or whatever. So Jeff is spot on. But so good segue into our guest here.
Let's do it.
Jeff Weinacht. Jeff, tell us who you are, what business you own, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So again, Jeff Weinacht, and I own Pulse Personal Training here in Highland. We've been in business. I've been doing this for 18 years now. It's crazy that I have to say that, because that just means I'm getting older. But yeah, that's
Location?
on Broadway, just 815 Broadway, right off the square in Highland, downtown.
Where we're filming at today.
That's where we're at today.
Prime location too.
Sure is.
Yeah, a lot of stuff around, right across the street from Beauty on Broadway. Everybody knows where that is. A lot of people. I just met somebody from Highland yesterday, and they did not know where the gym was.
You drive by right by it every day.
Yeah, drive by it and don't see it. So
you don't see people in here jumping around, and
look for the foggy windows.
That's right. That's probably why.
In the winter.
So 18 years, Jeff.
Yeah.
That first year or two for you, how did you get to where you're at? Like, what was the inception of Pulse? Like, how did things start to unfold for you in the very, very beginning?
So very, very beginning, I was looking for a job out of college and went to work for a couple different gyms, and they asked if I wanted to be a trainer. I was like, well, at first I was like, well, yeah, I like fitness. I like to exercise and all those things. So, I'll see what it entails. And I looked into it, did some studying, got certified, went down the path and became a trainer for a couple of gyms. That lasted for 6 months. And I realized real quick that I did not like the box atmosphere, big gyms. I just didn't like the direction that a lot of these places were going. The care for the customer just wasn't there. And I've never really been a great employee. I've always had a vision of doing things my way, and I'm pretty stubborn on that. So,
well, we don't need to go back further about who your employers were back in high school, but
they would agree that I was terrible. I would first admit I'm sorry.
I've heard some of the stories
from Ponderosa. Yeah. Anybody that managed me there, I apologize. I can't believe you guys didn't fire me.
He's
to be honest
coming
with you.
clean. This is great.
Ponderosa throwback.
Server of the year, 5 years straight. That is a lot.
Isn't that where CVS is right now?
Yes.
I think I've seen your picture, employee of the year. That's still like they took it from Ponderosa and put it on the wall.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no chance.
So you weren't a good employee.
No.
You wanted to do things on your own.
Yeah. So I started training people out of their home. So I just bought a couple $100 worth of equipment and started training people at their homes and just drove home to home for a couple years until that part grew and I was able to have enough people to rent space. And then I've rented a couple spaces. And then now we've been in this building for 8 years that we purchased and renovated.
So where have your prior locations been prior to, from where you're at now? Where have you been located in the past?
Yeah. So people's homes to start with, and then across the square, I was in where Plaza Dental used to be, Travel One is now. It's in the basement there. Spent 4 years there. Amazing that I spent 4 years in a basement with no windows. Then I was across the street from Flanagan's for a couple years, next to State Farm, and then I've been here for the last 8.
I mean, that's the American dream story, Jeff, where you really did it. If you watch Shark Tank and you hear the people that started in their garage and they do things on their own and they get to the point where, things start rolling out. Your story sounds very similar to that.
Yeah, it has been. I have been through every stage of personal training. Like if you can think of a coach, like all the different models you could go, I've pretty much went through all of them. Like I said, starting with, big box gyms like Gold Gym and another place, and, then on to my own traveling and one-on-one to now we do all small group training. So everything's evolved. And then we have 3 other coaches here too.
So would you even, with your environment, would you classify this as an actual gym, or are you're kind of you have a very unique business model?
Yeah, I guess you'd call it a gym. I don't know. I mean, I guess whatever the definition of gym is.
Oh, there you go.
But we do things definitely different. You can't it's not an all access place. You're coming in, you're going to work with a coach every single time that you come in, and you're going to do it within a group of, generally we try to keep it around 6 people per coach. So you'll get the social aspect, but it's going to be very personalized. We'll make any adjustments that you need to make during your workouts.
Why do you think the group setting works so well?
The group setting, people desire social. Like there are very few people that don't desire to be around other people. And for those who literally don't, well, they just wouldn't be for us. Mm-hmm. But I'm a firm believer. People love to be around people.
And I even the people that say they don't,
I
think they do. Because if you guys ever notice, the ones that say they don't, they're the ones that will talk your arm off the most.
Yeah.
So they avoid people, and it's like, I need someone to talk to.
And I mean, it's a proven concept here, is because I did one-on-one training and then kind of forced everybody into converting into small group at that time. And every single one of them said, I can't believe I used to do this by myself. I would never go back. And then now people show up and, like snow days, and like, hardly anybody came in, and they come in by themselves. Like, I'll just come back at another time and work out with other people. It's like the last thing I want to do is do this by myself. And I totally get it, because there's just such an energy that you get from other people. So the nice thing is with a small group is we can do everything we were doing with personal one-on-one training. We can do it in a group. So not only do you get the one-on-one benefit, you get the group benefit too.
And it's not just the physical side, right, Jeff? You've got another layer of your business that I would say, you might be the only one that the gym setting that has another layer to your business that is not related to physical effort. Would you agree?
Yeah. So we've spent the last couple of years really fine-tuning this process of finding out why people do what they do. What is it that stops people, or what makes people do something? And the psychology behind fitness, nutrition, like all this stuff. And it goes way beyond even just exercise fitness. It's just everything that we do is such a psychological thing. And the way that we use our words and changing, if we can just change the words that we use, what impact that has on people. So really working on the mindset aspect, which a lot of people's definition of mindset, if I asked you guys what's your definition, you'd probably come up with something different. There's tons of different, everybody almost has a different definition to it. So here at the gym, we have our own. that we've been taught is it's the stories that you tell yourself. So the simplest, easiest version of mindset is the stories that you tell yourself, and we help people change those stories.
And we all do that.
Everybody does it.
Is there a theme? You've done this for a long time. You've got a program that you actually, help with people. Is there a theme when it comes to those stories that everyone that comes in, we're all, walking? Is it from the past? Is there some kind of theme that you see that like, hey, I'm gonna see this when someone comes in?
Nope. And that's the cool part about it, is everybody's story is so unique. Everybody's different. There isn't just a way, and that's where, we want everybody to understand with exercise and nutrition is there isn't a way. If there was a way, we would already be doing it. Everybody be following it, and we'd all be living by it, and we'd all be really healthy. But because there's not just a way, that's what's made it challenging. And what makes things challenging is because there isn't just a set way. So everybody's got to find their own path, and helping them find that path, and it makes it unique. And there are no expectations. As soon as we start to expect something, somebody takes us the exact opposite direction. So we've learned to just don't anticipate, don't try to assume anything of anybody's story, listen to what it is, and then we help them from there. And everybody's totally unique.
Go ahead.
Well, this might be shift a little bit of the mindset aspect, but so most gyms, I think, are focused on one aspect of just overall fitness and health. But that's why yours is so unique. And I think that's what Jeff was saying it's just different. You talked about the physical aspect of it, and then you also talking about the mental aspect of it. And then you also talk about the nutritional aspect of it as well, right?
Yeah. So they all roll together. I mean, overall health is so encompassing of everything. I mean, it goes from your sleep to your social life to, all these things roll up into one big ball that we have to learn how to manage all these pieces of our life to make ourselves overall healthy. Because, it's crazy, when we find that it's rarely what anybody thinks is the problem is actually the problem. Like when we dig into stuff, it's a matter of finding what is that one thing that's just really the barrier to almost everything else. And it could just be an extra hour of sleep. Could be what's setting somebody back on everything else. Like, they're wanting to eat better, they're trying to exercise more, but they only sleep 5 hours. Well, they're super fatigued. They're too tired to get up early enough to make breakfast, which then fuels them for the rest of the day. And then all they want to do is go home and relax because they just worked 12 hours or whatever on 5 hours of sleep. And then you give them six and a half hours of sleep, and it's like their whole life could change. Mm-hmm. Eating breakfast just became easier because I'm not exhausted. Going to the gym just became easier because I'm getting enough sleep. Now I can show up. Versus they've been telling themselves a story. You're just lazy. You just got to go. You just got to. Yeah. It's like nobody's ever changed their mind just saying, just do it. Sorry, Nike, but
right. Well, I think it's cool. Like, with Ryan bringing up the food side, coming into this environment, and I've been a client of yours for a long time, and I get to see firsthand that it's not just come in, let's spend the hour and get our cardio, and we're not just you, but the group. We talk about motivators in life, and what'd you eat over Thanksgiving, or these little tips and stuff that. It's so encompassing, and even like the mindset stuff that you're talking about. I mean, I think I even shared with you, Jeff, like you have a very therapeutic way of talking to people. So I want to make sure that I'm highlighting that because there are people that are out there hopefully watching this that haven't found their home yet. And you encompass so many different things. I feel like you've got a great community here, and it's because you have various different things that you talk about, but you bundle it up all into one thing. So it's not like, well, we're going to talk about your mental health this week, and next week we're going to talk about your food. I mean, it is a constant just relationship. So I want to make sure that anyone that's listening knows this is a very therapeutic environment. And by the way, Jeff, you're always keeping things fun and light. I think that's what keeps people coming back. And, some of your trivia questions on how many calories is in a Monster Burger. I mean, stuff like that sticks with people. So,
yeah. And, just one of the biggest thing, that, what I think helps make us a little bit unique too is our acknowledgement of gymxiety. I've been preaching this for the last 6 months to a year, and I'm not doing enough of it. So I'm really on a goal for 2025 I want everybody to acknowledge that we all have it.
What is it? Tell us.
Fear of what's in the gym.
So people just won't act.
People don't act, and I'm guilty too. Like, there's certain spots in my life where I've been like, oh man, am I going to be the worst one at this? Like a race or something like that. Should I sign up? Am I going to be last or whatever? But I know everybody, even probably more than half of our clients have it. When it comes to like one, it was hard for them because they were feared to get started. But once they've been here, some of our clients have been here for a couple of years and they want to make up a time and come in a different group that people they don't know. It's hard for them. And sometimes they skip because like, oh, I wasn't sure who would be here. And it's like, it was like day one for them all over again once they get outside of their comfort zone. So, I totally understand all the fears that 80% of Americans don't have a gym membership. That's a huge number.
Wow.
And the number one reason I'm wholeheartedly convinced is because of gymxiety, the fears that they have about what will happen when they walk in.
That number's huge.
That is.
And we're so focused on, how to get people more healthy. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I think it may even be higher than that. I think 80 is actually a conservative number of people who don't. So
we got to get our healthcare providers.
But again, we just have to make people understand that, and I think that's what we do so well is getting people started who haven't done anything in God knows how long. Maybe you've never exercised a day in your life. The feeling that you're going to get after just being in here a couple times, you're going to feel safe, comfortable, and want to come back and know that everything's okay. Your body's safe. The people around you aren't going to judge you. They all started from the exact same position of fear and pulled up to the front door and maybe drove away the first couple times, or canceled their first 5 appointments before they made that commitment. So
what does the first week look like for someone that, let's say they call you next week, they want to come in here. What does the first week look like for that potential client of yours?
Because of this, this fears that we know people have, we try to schedule a time for you to come in when nobody's actually here.
Awesome.
And just walk through the door. We'll be there to greet you. You're not going to walk in confused or wondering who am I supposed to meet. We'll be right there at the front door waiting for you to come in and greet you by your first name. And we're just going to sit down and talk. We're going to come into this office right here and we're just going to chat and, put everything out there, kind of see where you're at. And we're going to put you into a group and find a time that works best for you in your life and people that we think you're going to be the most comfortable with and most confident with and get you started that way. So the first time somebody comes in and then, your first couple workouts, you're going to have a coach with you specifically the entire time until you start to get comfortable and then, integrate with the rest of the group and become part of that team that you're on.
I love it.
So that would be how we get people started.
So I always, I don't know about you, Joe, but I always look at Jeff as like one of the most carefree, passionate guys that I've ever met. Like, which is sometimes kind of contradicting. Seems like he's carefree.
Oh, he's carefree, all right. I think anyone that knows, Jeff is it's always going to work out.
Yes.
He does put his legwork in,
yes.
but like go ahead.
But he's extremely passionate.
Yes.
And of all of us that meet on a regular basis, Jeff is probably one of the most passionate that I know about what he's doing. So Jeff, like what was your I imagine your why when you started in the box gym did not just immediately start. You didn't have that why fully developed yet. What was the process where you started developing your why, your passion? Where is it? What is the passion and what gets you just so motivated to do what you're doing?
Great question. And this one has been an evolving thing. And I've actually truly figured this answer out over time because it's been an evolution of what I thought my whys were. But now I think back to really what's driven my passion is the first person I ever worked with. When I was 22 years old, there was this mother. She was 55-year-old mother of 3. And she was so deconditioned. She spent her entire adulthood taking care of 3 kids, driving them everywhere they wanted to go for every activity, every sporting event. She never said no to anything, but it came with a cost, and it was her health. And that person was my mom. So as I got started, I was like, Mom, I'm getting into this personal training thing. I was living there because I didn't make any money yet. I was like, would you be my first, be my guinea pig and go through this process with me? And she said, yeah. And so we got to work in the basement, and for over the change that I seen for a 55-year-old in 6 months was really unbelievable. And then now it's just like, man, like, what if she would have started doing that at 35? Like, what did she miss out on because she didn't take care of herself and be her best for those 20 years? Like, she gave up 20 great years. And if she would have dedicated that to herself, like, how much more would she have done with us and all these things? Not that like I said, she did everything for us, so it's nothing to take away. But man, now when I see moms that are busy and sacrificing, it's like, you're missing out on so much that I don't want to see any other moms, so that's a lot of who we work with and who I work with. They're busy moms and don't want to see them waste away, and they want to live their best life during this crazy, chaotic time. And I want to show them that it's possible. Because like I said, I watched my mom, not be healthy for 20 years. I didn't realize it was happening until afterwards, and we started working together. But now she's in her mid 70s or early 70s. Sorry, Mom. Not that. But she's doing amazing. She still comes to the gym a couple times a week. I'm no longer her coach. She does that with Tina, but she's got, thankfully she is doing this because she's, over the last couple of years, she's been diagnosed with Parkinson's, but it doesn't stop her. She's able to show up here, get her workouts in. She can still do all the things that she wants to do. And had she not been exercising like this for 20 years, who knows how bad it would be. But so that's really where my why
That's awesome,
lies right now.
Sure,
And,
sure is.
I never heard that. I'm glad you asked it. I'm glad you said it, and I hope that someone's out, not just someone, but that very avatar is out there right now that says, you know what, that's me.
So there it is. That's the big why and what drives me, and
It's awesome.
it's just it's so cool what we get to do, and when I get to see people make changes in all these different ways, it's like, what better feeling is there?
18 years. This is what's cool. I think about it is 18 years. And sometimes when you have a story, it's just like we still can see the passion 18 years later. Like it's not gone, and it might be stronger than it's ever been.
Yeah, I would say it's as strong as it's ever been. And just plus two, because I love the team that we have. The 4 of us here are incredibly tight, and everybody's just as passionate as I am. So it makes it pretty exciting and fun to come and do this every day.
Right. So with that, one of the other things I was going to ask too was everything you have going on here. You just seem to be a great leader for this. What is it that you think is this is kind of more for a leadership question. What's something that you think is a very important attribute, or something that you might have developed to become that leader that you needed to be able to do what you're doing right now?
So I went to a high school to talk to a bunch of high school kids about a month ago. And I had like 6 groups, like 10, 15 kids each hour or whatever it was. And I asked them that question: what makes a good leader? What makes the best coaches that you've ever had? Because they all have coaches. All these kids are in sports and stuff. And I already had an answer in my head, but I just wanted to work with them to show them that way. Because coaching and leadership is in everything that we do. Mm-hmm. You can be a coach in absolutely anything. Coach somebody how to play the piano. Coach somebody how to cut grass. Coach somebody how to run a business. Coach somebody how to play sports.
On their finances.
Coach them on their finances. Coach them how to be a realtor. You can coach anybody in anything. And the number one thing is shut your mouth and listen.
So tough.
you know,
Elaborate on that a little bit.
you know, it's really hard to listen when you're talking.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that I know about people and humans in general, we all have something very in common. Joe, do you like to be told what to do?
No.
Ryan, do you like to be told what to do?
Not a bit.
Neither does anybody else. So, and that goes with our clients too, is like, we don't tell anybody what to do. Stop telling people what to do. So nobody wants that. And when we tell people what to do, everybody just goes into defense mode. They put their guard up. You told me to do that? Nope. If you'd asked me if I wanted to, I probably said yes. But as soon as we tell people what to do, so that's where friction happens is, you know, we don't let things become other people's ideas. We want it to be my idea, and I told them what to do. I came up with that idea. I told them they should do that. I want the credit versus take yourself out of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you said you wanted to do that thing to create something. So regardless of who created it, the creation happened. And that's what we, you know, want to try to be all about, like for our gym here and stuff, like the growth, like, I don't, you know, how much Tina and Josh and Meredith, like the things and ideas that they've come up with, like I don't need any of their credit. I just excited that the things happen. So that way we improve our business and we deliver a better result for our customers. You know, most of where we are today has nothing to do with me. Maybe allowing for them to come to me with ideas, which I think some people, business owners and leaders, tend to shut down sometimes, or they don't create that open atmosphere to express your opinions and let people put them out there and take them and run with them.
And you got a good story, Jeff. I want to switch gears just a minute because you've kind of laid it all on the line, you know, about how you've gotten here and your motivation and your why and everything. There's some fun parts about being a member here as well. And anyone that's in the community has drove around town and seen some pretty entertaining things happen. So share a little bit about the other things that are not just for gym members, but are also for the community. Jeff does a lot of things. You're integrating yourself and the gym into the community. Share a little bit about the fun things that you provide.
As passionate as I am about health and fitness and all that stuff, I'm just as passionate about as having fun.
Yes, you are.
I love to play hard. We work hard, we play hard, and I am a firm believer in that motto.
I've joined in with you on that too, and it's great. You like a good burn, and
yeah. So,
yep.
And as serious as this talk has been, boy, I try not to take myself too serious ever. I've, like you guys said, I have a pretty carefree attitude, and we try to instill that here too at the gym. Like when we work out, my number one goal is everybody should laugh every time they come in here. If they didn't laugh, everybody didn't laugh during a workout, we didn't do our job.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the job, is to have some fun, because exercise and all this stuff should be fun. And so is everything else that we do outside of here. Speaking of coming up, we just booked our scavenger hunt, which is probably one of the most fun things that we do each year. And that's going to be March 22nd at Unwind is going to be the host of that this year. Really excited about that.
Is that a St. Patrick's Day theme then?
St. Patrick's Day theme, scavenger hunt. It's an all-day affair. The scavenger hunt itself is in the morning from 10 to 10:30 to 12:30, but then we enjoy the rest of the day. All the proceeds for that is going to go somewhere local. We are trying to figure out who's going to receive the benefit of that event this year, but
how many people? How do they contact you?
So
this doesn't have to be gym members, right?
Yeah, no, anybody can come. It's just fun. It's 4 to 6 people per team, and we'll have a link to register. Actually, by the time we get done, this goes up, that link and everything will be out to register for the event. Like I said, it's just a really fun day of just getting out, getting some movement in. Yes, everything is done on foot, and it's just your typical scavenger hunt. I guess not typical. I think it's better.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Everything's on an app, and it's really neat.
And the people they dress up.
Everybody gets dressed up. Everybody's walking around town. And
who doesn't want to dress up again? Right?
Having some cocktails, just having a great time. And yeah, we've had some good posts last year. people saying like, "There's a ton of people out."
Oh, yeah.
I think we had close to 140 people last year participate.
I think it started on the Highland community page too. It's like, what's the deal with all the people in green in
There was
town?
positive comments.
It was. Sure was. That's what the gym's about.
But yeah, different events like that, we love to host or be a part of anything that we can.
And you do things a lot for your membership as well that aren't necessarily outside of the gym. That being a member here, you get to experience. Jeff has a lot of. Even on a normal workout, I mean, you come in here and you might find yourself playing the childhood memory game or something, So it
could be playing basketball, a little pop a shot, kicking soccer balls. Who knows what you're going to find yourself doing? Whatever I come up with, and we never know what that is.
It's awesome. Well, hey, one more thing I had for you. What do you do with when you're in a spot where you're in with discomfort, something new that you're not wanting to try to do? Me and Joe literally realized where you were the most non-techie person.
True.
Of any of my friends.
Yeah.
He hated it all.
This is his equipment.
There we go. Yeah. So we went from non-techie person to someone that's posting great content on Facebook all the time, photos, just content in general, videos, podcasting.
Yeah.
How'd you get there,
He
Jeff?
started this too. Like he's the Jeff the Genesis.
Well, here, this is a perfect example of just mindset is my discomfort with, me telling the story that I don't like tech was just a way for me to not do things I wasn't comfortable with. It was more of my social fears of putting myself out there. It's not that I don't like technology. I use technology all the time. That was just a way for me to, if I just say I don't like it, then I don't have to do it. Then I don't have to put myself out there. Then I don't have to become uncomfortable. And I went and got coaching. I went through my own mindset work and did my own growth and overcame the mindset, the stories I was telling myself. It was a bunch of bullshit. A lot of it. I used to not be able to go to a chamber event because I'd be too scared. Shit, who's going to be in there? Are they going to talk to me? Are they going to say hi to me? And I found that
now you're a celebrity, so you can't even walk in the door anymore, Jeff.
Now every time it's amazing. I found when I say hi to somebody, they always say hi back. It is crazy.
How about that?
Whole new story. But that's not the story I told myself. I mean, there was a time I pulled up to a chamber event, sat in my truck for 5 minutes, and drove off because I didn't want to walk in the door because of all the crazy stories that I had going on in my head. And like I said, so then I've worked through those things, and then working through those has led us to doing this and just being more vulnerable. And, and I love doing this stuff. Like, this is fun to me.
And you're inclusive too. The one thing about you, Jeff, is like no one's ever going to be sitting off in a corner by themselves if you're in Jeff's house here. Like
it's no fun.
It is inclusive. You're going to be pulled into the mix, which you should be, but you're never going to feel left out. Jeff, is there any other thing that we left out that you wanted to point out about you or your business?
Not that I can think of, other, like I said, just how good our team is. Like Pulse is, and the reason I even came up with the name is because I never wanted this to be just me. Like, I've always wanted a team. So a lot of people name their businesses after themselves or what have you. And my dream is to always have a team of people. Not name any names. But I from the very, very beginning, I knew I didn't want it to be just me, and I wanted to have a team of people. And there's nothing wrong, Joe.
No, I don't have a team, and I don't want a team.
Correct.
Different story.
You don't have the same passion.
It is me. Sure.
As I do to have a team of people. So, for those of you, Tina and Josh and Meredith, they're amazing people, and you're going to get to work with all of us. When you start here, you get a team of 4 people that you get to be on board with, which I think is unique compared to anywhere else that you're going to go or any coaching you're going to get. Rarely are you going to get to work with 4 different people.
So what's up, Highland? I mean, why don't you come in and check out Pulse with Jeff? I mean, what's up, Highland?
Jeff, the life changer.
Yeah, I hope so. That's what we're trying for.
That's awesome.
So again, we want to invite everyone to follow our YouTube page, the Facebook page we're going to be putting out, because we've got a lot of good content this year. We're not just going to have business owners on town. We feel like there's a lot of content within the community that, especially it's fed through the community page, that we're going to be able to pull in and have some conversations on and lighten it up a little bit at times. But, feel free to share your ideas with us. And if there's a topic that you want to hear about, we'd be glad to talk about it. So, but Jeff, thanks so much for sharing your story.
Oh,
Yes.
Thank you guys. That was awesome.
Great.